United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Elcha?
Here.
Mr. Lindemann?
Here.
Mr. Ramos?
Here.
Mr. Breen?
Here, item 1D, board meeting minutes not previously approved. Mr. Lindeman.
Move to approve.
Second,
Second.
Ms. Elchow. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item E, information only. Number 1, summary of current events. Ms. Samaniego.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, members of the community staff, and our students today. Thank you for bringing my glasses, Mrs. Walker. Not see. This is what happens when you get old. Tomorrow, which is normally an early release day, is not due to parent conferences, so we want to remind all of our students and parents that tomorrow is a regular school day. Thursday is our early release day. K-8 is at 1 p.m., and their parent conferences start at 1 o'clock to 7 p.m. And Douglas High School's early release starts at 2 p.m., and they will have their parent conferences from 2 to 7. And then Friday is their regular early release day, so they will be out, and that allows for grading and things like that for staff. So we want to remind our parents that this is a great opportunity to visit your child's teacher, speak with them, check out their grades, attendance, and see how well-behaved students they are, especially those high school students that are HOSA. And so we encourage parents to please visit and take an opportunity to be involved in their child's education, and it starts with parent conferences. And so then we have our county spelling bee winner from RBMS Rayburn Middle School, and she will be attending on Saturday and competing at the Cochise County level. And what is her name? Maya, and from RBMS, and so we're very proud of her. And she had been trying for 5 years to be the #1 spelling bee champ, and she did it. So congratulations to her, and we wish her well on Saturday's event. And that's all I have for today.
The district still does provide transportation and funding for the travel.
Yes, and we will be assisting the family in taking them. And I do have one more. I
ahead.
believe last week or the week before, we took our admin team to visit the Boys and Girls Club. And so I don't know if a lot of our parents are aware, but the Boys and Girls Club is now open and functioning in Douglas. They are a branch to the Sierra Vista Boys and Girls Club, and they are being housed at the old call center, thanks to this city of Douglas and their partnership. And so we took our admin team to take a tour of the facility, and we're going to be sharing flyers and advertising and helping also provide the information to parents that there is that opportunity for, after-school activities. They plan on hosting summer events and things like that, so we're excited about the opportunity for Douglas residents and Douglas students here in our community. And that's it.
Okay, why don't you just go ahead and
Okay.
proceed with the GEM Award.
All right. Okay, so our GEM Award for this last month is being awarded to Guadalupe Lupita Castillo. She is the only behavior specialist we have in the district, and she plays a vital role with any student, especially our ESS students with behavior issues. So she consistently goes above and beyond for the students and staff at DUSD. She demonstrates genuine empathy and compassion, which creates a supportive, inclusive environment. She is willing to step in and cover when needed without hesitation or complaint, always placing the needs of students first. She serves in a role outside of her job responsibilities, offering help wherever she's needed and doing with a positive attitude. She's dedicated, she's flexible, and committed to making her highly deserving of the GEM Award. And I will attest that Lupita is here, there, and everywhere when needed. And she's the only one we have. So Lupita, please come on up. And you may not ever leave the district. We chose blue for you because you are just bright. Thank you for always being extraordinary, for going above and beyond in the extra mile. Congratulations. So, thank you.
Governing board member reports. Mr. Smith.
Nothing.
Ms. Salchow.
Nothing.
I have nothing this evening.
Mr. Ramos. Item E2, school activity report. Sari.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Samaniego, and members of the public. The activity report for DHS for the month of February is as follows. The Douglas High School Student Council just attended this year's AASE State Conference. Our hoopcoming was a very successful event. Spring sports begin tryouts next week. DECA State will be from the 26th through the 28th. This week is Skills USA Week, and basketball senior night is tonight.
That's it? And there's a basketball game tonight?
Yes, it's the boys senior night.
Okay, good. All right, members of the board, any questions or comments just quickly regarding
And
any,
cheer.
any part of
Cheer-
that?
And cheers, sorry.
Thank you. 2B, year-to-date budget balance and travel report, Mr. Soto. And of course, we're going to have a specific item regarding the budget and the both audits. So if you want to just kind of be brief on that, and then we'll get into more detail during the item on the regular
Okay.
agenda. So with that, go ahead.
Will do. Thank you, Mr. President, board members. Again, it's month of January that you have in front of you, and it's about our budget capacity and the encumbrance and the balances we have. As you notice, we have a remaining 3.43% on the M&O, and typically we're at in that range, 3.5% to 4%. That's what back in the day the law was required. Now there's no requirement in terms of how much money you can have on as a balance or potential carryover for next year. And then also you can see that we have 50% left on the district additional assistant, which is capital, and on the Title I. And like Mr. Brain mentioned, we're going to have more extensive conversations in terms of the Auditor General's report. But if you have any questions on this specific one, please do so.
Okay, I think we'll just kind of hold off on questions until we get to that item during the agenda, and that way we can save a lot of time. Mrs. Cox, anything on the student enrollment or anything else that pertains to it?
Yes, good evening, board, employees and students and staff. So our current ADM for the last day of January is 3,301. Last year at this time, it was 3,386. Okay, so we have had 45 new enrollments, but 54 withdrawals. Okay, so we had 19 kids leave our district to go online, 15 that moved away, 16 that were 10-day drops, 1 suspension, 1 that went to a charter school, and 2 for other reasons that they had to leave. We have annual registrations, which are ongoing. We need parents to really come in and do their annual registrations. We have a kinder roundup. So last year, we all of the elementary schools came here to the district office, and we worked together to try to get our kinder enrollment up. So we will do that again. It will be next Tuesday, starting at 5 o'clock, February 10th at 5 o'clock here. And the kindergarten teachers come over and they have activities for all of the kids. So it was very successful last year. So we're going to do that again. We have open enrollment right now. So if parents are wanting to choose a particular school, right now is the time to come in and get on the wait list. And we also did an intent to return survey that went out to all of our employees. And so we had a good response. And I will be setting up meetings to talk to those who either marked undecided or who said no, they will not be returning at this time.
Okay, again, members of the board, if it's all right, because that'll become a major component in our discussion regarding the budget, the student enrollment. So if you want to just hold off on questions, we can actually delve into it more extensively when we get to that item. So thank you for that, Ms. Cox. Call to the public. We have one, and it is Ms. Del Castillo wants to address the board regarding student council, I think she said. Was that right?
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Superintendent Samaniego, and members of the board, and to all present. So my name is Ana Cristina del Castillo, and I'm here excited to announce that I have been selected as the ASC State President. So ASC is Arizona Association of Student Councils, and each year they elect 3 new presidents from juniors of all around of Arizona. And this year I have been selected as one of the candidates, and I'm here to share my enthusiasm that as it represents our school spirit, it could bring more recognition to our district in general, and it shows our dedication as our student council has been growing this year. So, and I wanted to share that.
Well, congratulations
Well,
to
thank
you.
you,
We're
yeah.
excited.
Congratulations for that. And members of the board, briefly, any comments or questions regarding that? Well, then we want to thank you for bringing that information to the board. And again, very proud of you. And
Congratulations.
did you have anything, Ms. Hughes, that you wanted to say?
Will she be traveling for
Moral
meetings
support?
and things like of that nature? Yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Well, good.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Item 2A, approval of the following consent agenda items. A1, payroll and expense voucher reports, A through C. Mr. Linneman.
Move to approve the consent agenda items.
Second,
Second.
by Mr. Smith. Discussion regarding those vouchers. Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item 3A, discussion information only. DHS holds a presentation by Ms. Marta Alonso.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Ms. Samaniego, and members of the public. I am here with our HOSA students. And first off, I wanted to let you know that February is actually the Career and Technical Education Month for Arizona. So this year we're trying to push all of CTE. So as you know, this week is Skills USA week, and we are here to present to you our medal from the summer, a little bit of information about what we've done this year so far, and then to get a proclamation for our week as well. So I'm going to hand it over to the students, and first off, I'm going to have the parliamentary procedure team stand. And I'd like to introduce to you their president, Ms. Belen.
Good afternoon, board members. I am the president, Maria Belén Franco. We have our committee chair, Zaire Lopez, our member, Alejandro Valdenegro, our secretary, Michelle Herrera, our chairman of tellers, Jessica Quijada, and our treasurer, Gerardo Burgos. We are the parliamentary procedures team from HOSA, who have previously won 5th and most recently 3rd place at nationals. We would like to begin by thanking you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. We are here to discuss the role of parliamentary procedures and share insights from our experience at the HOSA International Leadership Conference. So throughout the presentation, we will talk about our awards and how the resources we used helped us achieve success at the competition, as well as just having an incredible experience.
Good afternoon. I'm Zaire Lopez, the committee chair. So to begin with, our competitive event focuses on parliamentary procedure, in which we are conducting like a meeting that focuses on guidelines, and it follows the procedures of Robert's Rule. Our journey in HOSA began our sophomore year, and we did have limited experiences and a lack of knowledge from Parley Pro. But then afterwards, we started gaining knowledge. And this just marked the overall foundation of the group and the long-term commitment that we have to academic excellence and to HOSA. Thank you.
Move this a little bit up. Hello, my name is Alejandro Valdenegro, and I just wanted to start with our success would not have been possible without all of the resources that our advisor and our city provided. We use our library almost daily to practice, so we would facilitate a meeting. We would use our, we would practice our script and our role play and everything, like even to studying for our test. And just wanted to add that we use all of our resources adequately, and they were really favorable for our outcome. And our first year when we went to internationals, we had 5th place, which was the highest at the time.
I gotta lower this. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Herrera, and I'm the Party Pro's secretary.
Entering our junior year, we were able to apply the experience we had gained and with a stronger foundation and greater confidence. We focused on exam preparation, which resulted in our team earning first place on the state examination. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. In preparation for ILC, once again, we elevated our commitment by meeting daily at the public library and researching material every day. Thank you.
You did very well. You did very well.
I do the minutes.
Good
Now,
afternoon.
you know what? We're gonna have you come back up there in a minute.
And work with.
We're gonna have you do it again.
with
No,
Alma.
you did very well. Yeah, it's difficult. Go ahead.
My name is Jessica Quijada, and I am the chairman of Tellers for our Pearly Pro team. And these efforts resulted in a third place international finish, where we received a medal for each of our members for the first time in 20 years, and also a plaque for our local chapter. Beyond competitive success, this experience have allowed us to leave a meaningful legacy within our chapter, and we have also developed essential leadership, communication, teamwork skills that continue to serve us in the future. Thank you.
Hello, members of the board. I'm the treasurer for our team. And as we continue to discuss our experience, we would like to respectfully address the need for additional funding. Since days are long and tiresome, we would like to prioritize students' well-being, which was a problem at the last conference. Providing us with the funds would greatly enhance our commitment and demonstrate that we value leadership and member wellness. Most importantly, we hope our accomplishments demonstrate the value of perseverance, responsible use of resources, and collective effort, inspiring future members to pursue excellence. Thank you for your time.
We have a little video of their win to share with you really quickly before our current year officers come up.
On screen now your finalists in Parliamentary Procedure Secretary. Now let's recognize your winners in Parliamentary Procedure Secondary. We would like to thank the National Association of Parliamentarians for sponsoring this event. And the winners are, in third place, Douglas High School linebacker. In second place, Berkeley County Academies, New Jersey, Kim, Zorgan, Tran, Clark, Sean, Taylor. And your first place winner is North Garland High School 3100, Texas. Biju, Nwazu, Abraham, Edwin, Abel, Binu. On screen now, your finalist.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Ms. Amaniego, Mr. Brain, and everyone else present. My name is Yailin Pulido, and I am this year's Bioscience HOSA Chapter Director. Today accompanying us, we have Wilchelis Cruz, our president, and Maximiliano Algara, our secretary. We are the HOSA officers, and we appreciate the opportunity to share a recap of our year and the work our chapter has accomplished. Throughout this year, our focus has been on service, leadership, and expanding our impact within both our school and the larger community.
Hello, my name is Wilchelis Cruz. Every year, our chapter organizes and supports a blood drive as part of our ongoing commitment to community health. This year, we surpassed our donor goal multiple times. Through consistent planning and strong member participation, we continue to address an important healthcare need while educating students on the importance of donation and civic responsibility. This effort reflects HOSA's mission and our dedication to sustained service. In addition to this, our members participated in several community outreach efforts, including donating toys for children in need and volunteering at our local trunk-or-treat events. These activities allowed our members to give back locally while promoting health, safety, and community connection.
Hello, my name is Maximiliano Vergara, And another major focus this year was our work with the National Marrow Donor Program, also known as NMDP. We hosted an NMDP recruitment event during a local Mexican baseball game, where we raised awareness about stem cell donation and encouraged community members to register as potential donors. Through these efforts, we are proud to have helped expand NMDP outreach into Mexico, increasing donor diversity and extending our impact beyond our school and town. We also recently hosted our local HOSA qualifiers on Saturday, January 10th. This event gave our members the opportunity to compete for a chance to advance to regionals and represent our town. Our judges were professionals from the community, including the Cochise County Superintendent, local educators, and this added credibility and real-world connections to the event.
As we reflect on the year, we respectfully request that February 9th through February 14th be recognized as HOSA Week. This week would be celebrate students' leadership, health awareness, and community service while highlighting the positive contributions HOSA members make to our school and community. We request that our board superintendent and president sign our HOSA proclamation.
HOSA continues to prepare students to lead with purpose, compassion, and responsibility. Recognizing HOSA Week would acknowledge the dedication of our members and the meaningful impact of our work. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Is that the extent of the presentation, Ms. Alonso?
We just requested a
Oh,
picture
okay.
at the end, but yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Members of the board, any questions, comments regarding the presentation at all?
No.
Ms. Salchow?
How many students are in HOSA?
So this year we do have we used to have four, Miss Seville retired. We have 3 chapters in HOSA, and this year we have 118 students in all 3 chapters. Bioscience has 67 students, which 67 drives me crazy, but we do have 67 students in our chapter. Yes.
67.
Yes, every time we say that, they're like,
Thank you.
Mr. Lindemann?
Congratulations and keep up the good work.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes, keep up the good work. You make us very proud.
As always, the board is always very cognitive of the extensive work that you guys do, number one, and number two, you always do very well competitively. And we always need to mention that we're so proud of you because of your appearance, your behavior, your demeanor, and you represent the Douglas schools and the whole community very well, so thank you very much. I do have one question. Who was the individual that did the parliamentary procedure, which showed us the plaque on? Were you involved in that? Just
this
quickly.
is the entire team that won third place. Yeah.
Just quickly, as part of the parliamentary procedure, which is customarily pretty traditional, do you do anything with the open meeting law, which goes hand in hand with parliament, or are you aware of that?
No, they don't deal with
They don't deal with that at all?
No, because all of their meetings are held with just the judges, the 3 judges, and their meetings are actually closed. No one can go in to see their competition. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, parliamentary procedure is part of any formal, especially governmental meetings, right? And they're governed by Robert's Rules of Order. I'm sure that's what you go through. But hand in hand with that is the open meeting law. And like this board here, we're still rural areas, so we kind of tentative, but we do parliamentary procedure. I'm just kidding about that. But we have to abide by a state law, and it's in every state called the open meeting law, which goes hand in hand with what you do as part of your parliamentary procedure. So I was just curious to, whether you did that or not. Thank you very much again. Very proud of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. May we have a picture with the board?
Go ahead.
Stand, Mr. Bryan?
Stand.
You want to stand up?
Because they're going to take a picture, so they want you guys on the background.
Oh, okay.
You were also in Party Pro. He was our team.
Come on, Sarid.
He was our team. I'm not dressed. He left. You're just impressed.
Stand next to me, right here. Come on, yes.
Me tiene miedo. Did you take one?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, congratulations.
Congratulations.
So nice.
Secretary, we're gonna have you work with our secretary.
I'm so sorry.
Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Hasta luego.
Proud of you.
Pues en marzo, ya te dije.
En marzo.
Sí, este quiere, he wants to do receive a diploma kind of routine when I hand him the diploma, so.
No, that's okay. They're like, oh.
Close the audience.
Oh, the fun
stuff.
The fun parts, huh? Item 3B, discussion information only on the 2026 Arizona School District Financial Risk Analysis. And members of the board, just as a little bit of background and more so for public discussion and information, and then I'll get to the administration because they're going to do the majority and they're the ones that are working directly with it. But in 2022-23, after our financial audit was done, we received a notification from the Auditor General that we were one of, at that time, I think, 8 or 9 or 10 districts at risk in the state of Arizona because of our financial standing. Since that time, the administration has been working extensively for us to try to get, and we won't get into a lot of details, hopefully more for the discussion. But since that time, the district has been working to do whatever they can within the parameters of the revenues we have for specifically the M&O budget. Lo and behold, I received a letter last Friday regarding the 24-25 or the 23-24 audit, and we got identified again as a high-risk district, and that we are approaching a highest risk district. And of course, from the onset, that is not a good position for the district to be in financially. What we're doing now is within the different parameters that the administration sees as necessary to comply, not only to get in compliance with what our revenues are with our expenditures. The only way that we can actually even start to become or have any type of relief is by reducing the expenditures, which are not relevant with the and significant with the revenues. I just want to read in part the letter that was sent to me, and I made it available to all of you. And it just says in part, it says, we monitor, this is from the Auditor General, and this is regarding the district financial risk analysis for January 2026. We monitor each district's overall financial risk of not being able to operate within its available budget constraints and cash revenues. Districts experiencing declining student counts along with declining budget limit reserves and cash resources may need to immediately reduce costs to operate within budget constraints and cash resources. Such districts with multiple risk areas should analyze the cause of their risks and identify and implement appropriate risk mitigation actions. Districts not included on the high-risk district list may still be defined as high risk for more individual measures. Therefore, all district stakeholders can use this data and any risks identified when evaluating district budget and finance-related occasions. The fact that we were identified and that they're presently working on, and originally, and then this present notification just accentuates the fact that our revenues are not meeting our expenditures. And we need to do certain things because if things stay constant with the revenues that we have, especially with the declining enrollment, if things stay constant, we will continue to be at high risk, and we could eventually become a highest risk district. It's not new to anybody that knows the situation in the state. All the schools, most of them are going through it. But the fact that we are identifying it and we are addressing it and we're trying to be proactive is what's important, because I've had extensive conversation with staff, especially Mr. Soto. And as I mentioned earlier, if everything stays constant, especially if the enrollment continues to decline and our expenditures are the same as what they are, then we are definitely going to continue to be identified and ultimately have more serious problems if we don't do what they're doing. I think as far as background information, that's enough from my standpoint. I'm the one that received the letters. I shared them with you. The administration has them. I just want to make sure that the board is up to date, so to speak, as to where we stand financially. And then I want the superintendent to inform the board in not specifics with names or anything that would cause any alarm at this time, or something that might be prematurely misunderstood or misinterpreted as fact regarding what you're doing, to give the board a little bit of what's going on with you, and then we're going to open it up for discussion. And then, of course, Mr. Soto, I want you to be actively involved. And then, of course, Mrs. Cox, anything you want to add regarding the projected enrollments or anything that might have a direct effect on what we're talking about, we'll get to that. But we're going to have an open discussion regarding that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Samaniego.
Okay. So first and foremost, this is a report from the Auditor General that comes every January. So every school district gets this financial analysis. And so we know that is a yearly thing. That's the way they monitor and our finances and give us some insight as to potential areas that we should be paying attention to. So the background information in the report itself, we are listed not among one of the highest risk districts. So I do want to clarify that. The 23 report that Mr. Bahrain is talking about is when we were identified as a high risk areas in some of the areas because of the capital that we had transferred in order to be able to give salary increases that year. And so we did that in 2023. So the way to understand this analysis is that it is a breakdown of an average of starting with 2021 school year to 2026. So because we got it in 2023 and now this following year, I want to assure you that it's not something we did more in addition to getting the district in a worse financial position because we are still being looked at on that average. And so it's going to take us a while. If you notice the areas that we are being monitored in, every district goes through the same areas. So one is the change in weighted student count. And if you notice, that's the first one because that is what drives our school budgets. That is our M&O. That is our student count. So with the loss of enrollment, there is a change in weighted student count because we have less students. So less students mean less money to operate. When you have less students, then that affects the budget limit reserve in our operating budget. Then that kind of goes over to our capital budget. So if you're utilizing some capital monies to offset some of the cost in the M&O, then that is a domino effect. We didn't do anything with capital. We left it alone. We haven't transferred, so we are good in that area. And you notice that it shows a zero number on the 2024, Mr. Soto?
26.
2026, so we didn't transfer any capital. And then in the other areas, we are good in our general fund operation reserve, our general fund change in budget balance. So it monitors 6 different or 7 different areas. And so I want to assure you that we take this very serious, first and foremost. We are not one of the highest risk districts. We are not, anywhere under the negative word is receivership, where the state kind of has to take over because you haven't done what you needed to do in terms of your financial risk analysis and you haven't taken it seriously. At this point, we don't have to submit anything to the Auditor General to say, okay, this is our financial plan. We are not at that point, and I hope we're not going to be at that point under our leadership here. And so what we're doing is taking this analysis and ensuring that what we are doing is moving forward in a positive manner that's not going to affect the district negatively. Now, I want you to know that probably next year, because this is still a 6-year average, they're still considering those years that, DUSD was transferring, let's say, capital over to the M&O. So in the next few years, we hope that hopefully we won't, the board doesn't want to transfer, capital monies over to our M&O, that slowly but surely we get out of that position. And now the only other factor that is concerning for me is, of course, the enrollment. And so if we continue to see the trend, which is a drop in enrollment, that continues to be a loss of weighted student count. And so that is one area that, unfortunately, right now, school districts are not able to control. We got some information from the state. I believe we are under the ESSA voucher system. How many students? 90,000 students? Or
Over 100,000
Over
already.
100,000 students have been lost in public education. And so districts that are in the highest risk are definitely having more of an impact in that change of student weight count. And so in speaking to Mr. Soto and analyzing and he working with his business office department and looking at all of our budget balances, we are in good shape. I don't want to alarm. We take this very seriously. And like Mr. Barain says, we don't want to ever get to a point where we are signing vouchers
or
and
warrants.
credit line to sustain. We have a good balance in our, what we call our dead cash balance, which sustains us and keeps us moving month to month. Our capital budget is good, so Mr. Soto is going to do a little bit more on what these areas mean. And he'll do his speech on how school finance works and what it's intended for. And so sometimes he has a hard time understanding these financial risk reports when we are doing what we need to do with the monies that we are provided. And like you all know, for example, with grants, you don't want to not spend your grant money because then the state says, well, you don't really need all this money, so we're going to take it back. And so the whole idea of your budget capacity is to be utilized to its full maximum during that year. We always try to reserve some, for capital or carryover into the next year, and he'll do a little bit more explaining. Without going too much into detail as to what we are doing, I've updated you. We are working on our budget plan. We're looking at some restructuring at district level with admin positions. That's going to be a cost savings there. I am very well aware that the loss of enrollment is impacting, and so we don't want to impact the classroom. The least impact we can have to the classroom, that's what we're doing. And I know it is, of concern to the board because you get questions asked by the community, and especially, is the school going to close? I know that's been the buzz phrase from some community members, and at that point, we're not having that discussion. We're not entertaining that because we are taking measures internally to be able to operate at a capacity that I will not. I feel we will not put this district at any risk by, let's say, overlapping some duties. Decreasing some of the admin positions we have and still being able to operate physically, financially, and that we are not putting this district in any kind of liability or over exhausting one single person in this district. And so there's many things that my team is doing, looking at every position, looking at how much we're spending in salaries. And so with the things that we are going to be proposing very soon this month, we feel confident that we are going to be saving quite a bit of money and still being able to operate. I don't want to put this district to bare bones. We're not there yet, but the tight constraints that we're going to put into practice, I think, are very, very favorable, and we're going to do what we need to do and take on more responsibilities. I have a lot of faith in our employees and my team, from the curriculum department to ESS to all of our district level and our supporting staff, that we are going to move forward in the right direction. And I will tell you that the environment feels different right now at DUSD. There's a lot of just buzz, people in panic, and of course they're worried about their jobs, and so everybody's like, what's gonna happen? And so right now, we are not looking at saying, okay, we are making the decision to lay people off in masses or anything like that. Our enrollment will drive how many teaching positions we will have, and so some of the proposals that are being done and created by these school teams or the school admin are already looking at that. And so we won't know for sure enrollment numbers. It's too early to tell, but we're gonna use those numbers probably to base our number of teaching positions right around March. And so I'm confident that what we're doing, without getting into too many details at this point, that we are doing what we need to stay financially healthy and move in the right direction. Mr. Soto, if you want to go into specific details of that.
Yes. Again, as Mrs. Samaniego mentioned, this is a report that every school district in the state gets it every year. And their primary job is to point out and see, this is the areas that you need to start looking at to avoid being in a financial crisis. Like she also mentioned, we've never been one of the highest districts in risk. Right now, there's 10 districts that are in the highest risk, with 2 in receivership. There's another 10 districts approaching the highest risk. Okay, so that alone is just around 10% of the school districts in the state that are in that situation. Not that we need to look at that and say, oh, at least we're not. No, absolutely not. All I'm saying is it's a hard time for school districts right now in the state. Now, talking about the specific areas that they're mentioning, the student count, something that everybody nationwide is facing. And we're trying to be proactive and trying to find ways on how to attract or keep our students in our schools. Again, one thing to always remember is this is an average-based report. So even if we make drastic changes one year, we're not gonna get out of the woods the following year, because we have a history, right, of doing those things. And I'll go more into detail about it. The budget limited reserve, which is the operating budget, is just telling us, oh, you don't have as much carryover as you had in past years. And I said, yeah, I know. And again, what's the purpose? When you get your allocations, the purpose is to use all of those resources with the allocation you got for that specific year. for whatever circumstances or stuff or things that happened that we didn't, then we ended up with highest carryover in that area. I'll give you an example. We always been able to have at least $1 million or more than $1 million every year as a carryover. There was one year that we went almost to $2 million. And then all of a sudden, in 1 year, we went to 900,000. So they're saying, oh, hey, by the way, this is what happened. And I said, yes, I know what's happening, but thanks for pointing that out. The other area is the capital, which is the same thing. It's the same thing. We get an allocation depending on enrollment, same as the maintenance and operation budget. And it's telling us the same thing. Before, you were able to carry this amount of money, and then all of a sudden, you decided, or you had less on that carryover from capital, which again, I'm going back to, well, some years we have more capital needs than other ones, and we know when we, as a board and as an administration proposing the 1.5 million transfer from capital, that we knew we were not gonna use that money for capital needs. And again, the Attorney General is saying this money is allocated for capital needs. I can tell you that more than 50% of the districts in the state do transfer money from capital to the MNO to support expenditures. And of course, the other area is the specific utilization of capital monies to supplement the MNO. And it's the same thing. So we are aware that we did that transfer. Before, we were used to transfer only 500,000, then we went to 750, and then all of a sudden we went to 1.5 million, which triggered, hey, what's going on here? You need to look at that. Yes, we know. We went through the whole thing, and we know what we did and what the purpose for that was. Now, we decided we're no longer gonna do that. And as Mr. Bren and Mrs. Samaniego mentioned, now we're taking measures in terms of we're gonna have to live with what we're allocated for the maintenance and operation budget, which, again, all of you know, 85% of that is salaries and benefits. One of the things we're waiting for this coming year is the RFP for insurance, and what's the cost gonna be for that? So there's a lot of factors still in the air at this point to make a projection. I can tell you that there's been movement at the legislature in terms of finding more money for schools. They're looking at Prop 123 again and things like that. What's gonna happen? We cannot count on that yet, and we know that's gonna go probably all the way to the end of June until we heard specifically what they're gonna do for schools. So, as Mrs. Samaniego mentioned, we're taking measures in terms of we're gonna have to adjust with whatever allocation or projected allocation we're having at this point. We won't have anything for sure until probably the end of March or April to make and say, this is what our allocation is gonna look like in terms of money and what revenues, and that's what they're referring to when they're saying, well, you're spending more of the revenues of the expenditures. And again, we know because we decided to transfer some of that monies to increase the revenues to utilize for our operations. So that's in a nutshell, what that report means. Again, it's not an alarming report where it says you guys are going off a cliff. We're not going that direction. It's just these are the areas that you need to look at and start addressing. But again, the high risk, at least in one area, which I'm hoping is not, but let's just say the enrollment just stays steady, you're still gonna have that because the average is gonna tell you that the average is still in the negative until we gain whatever. But again, this is something that we take very seriously, and we're taking measures, to get out of it. So that's my explanation of the
Before
report.
we open it up for discussion, do you have anything else you want to add after hearing what he had to say?
No, I mean, we've just similar thought process and assuring the board and our community and our staff that this is a yearly report that comes in, and that we are not one of the highest risk districts, but we are doing what we need to do to try to maintain and operate under that M&O budget. And I know in talking to Mr. Soto, the capital transfer is an allowable transfer. I mean, we're not breaking the law by having done that in 2023, because that was for a very specific reason, and that was for our employees. And so while it is an allowable transfer for other things that you need to do with the M&O, we are well aware that what that kind of caused was a high alert. So we are a high alert in those areas, driven by the fact that the enrollment is low. So not, like we're not falling off the cliff, like Mr. Soto said. We're not one of the highest risk. We don't need to do anything extreme right now as far as submitting anything to the Auditor General. But we are doing what we need to do here to operate in a more physically responsible way with the loss of enrollment and the numbers we have right now.
Before we get to the board, I think it's very important to mention, though, and rightfully so, you keep mentioning the transfer of the capital, but also the verbiage and the concern was using other funds.
Correct.
And you've got to mention that. The board needs to know that. It wasn't just capital outlay, it's using other funds for the maintenance and operation, right? And that was very specifically mentioned in the letter as identifying us as the high
Correct.
risk. All right, Mr. Smith.
Okay, so I see obviously where, you have the operating budget and the capital budget, and, what's left over carries over, but it seems like one of the other big problems they have are the capital monies being redirected to operations. Obviously, you say, well, that's okay, it's legal, there's not a problem, but if they're looking at what I'm looking at, the way it has been increasing.
Correct.
From $500,000 to
1.5.
1.5 million in a 5-year period, that's troublesome. Why is it that, what do we need to do to reduce that, capital, getting moved over to handle our operation? If the year that we have the biggest increase, last year, seems like was the same year where we were having to scramble and come up with money for, insurance, that kind of stuff. Now we're talking about having to scramble and come up money for insurance again. What are we gonna do to prevent these, this transfer of the capital monies over into operations to try and help cover this? That is one of the big problems that we're keep getting hit on, even though it's, as you say, okay to be due or not
Right.
against the law.
And again, like I mentioned, yes, that's what that triggered, the 1.5 saying, okay, well, you were okay, steady on whatever amount you were transferring. But once we transfer the 1.5, and as you remember, what the purpose specifically for that was is to be able to give raises and to be able to sustain the insurance that we had, right? So again, like I mentioned, we're in the process of an RFP for insurance services. We're and also for this year, the board decided to use other funds to supplement the 90-10 we currently have in place, right, for insurance. And we said that we were gonna utilize MIPS and other 500 funds to cover the expenditure. So that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to make the necessary adjustments in terms of staff and restructuring to save money on that, but also save money on the insurance part of it. We're not transferring capital anymore. For this year, we didn't transfer a penny from capital. And we want to keep it that way. We want to keep it where we're going to adjust to what the allocation or the budget capacity will be to cover the salaries and benefits and the expenditures of the district. The other funds were just going to be kept there for emergency purposes, not specifically allocated for one purpose. So that's what we're looking in that area to avoid the capital transfer and the utilization of other funds to pay for insurance, let's just say.
So are they also looking at alternative insurance methods that might be a little bit cheaper than?
Correct.
Whatever
Correct.
you're currently using?
Yes, so if I may
Go ahead,
add to
go
that.
ahead.
So through the RFP process, Mr. Smith, the RFP closes, I believe, tomorrow. And so the RFP sends out communication to different companies that are, let's say, bidding a proposal. And so within what will be submitted, then Gallagher, which is our consulting, will advise the district. These are the, let's say, 5 or 6 companies that meet what we were expecting and answered all the questions in the RFP. And so what our job will be do as a committee will be to look at the different companies that did submit a proposal and that are offering an insurance plan that is cost-effective to the district, to the employees, and that are providing the maximum that they can offer. So we will then rate and score every company from all the different areas that we will be scoring and submitting and selecting as a committee what we feel we can bring to the board and say, okay, board, this is the insurance company that offered the best plan at the best price for the district and to the employees. Then, as we present, as we normally do, we bring whatever insurance plan to the district and say, this is what it will cost the district to provide employee-only insurance at this level, which is, last year we did a 90-10. For many years, we were a very rich district in terms of what we offered for our employees. We paid 100%. So what this year may look like is, without throwing numbers out there, it may not be a 90-10. Because in order to do a 90-10, the board approved a little bit from MIPS and a little bit from the 500 fund so that we wouldn't have to transfer capital. So what we hope to be able to do is just use the M&O this year and not use any of those 2 other funds in the company we select, and then the board will decide this is what we can offer our employees this year, if that makes any sense. So we are looking at all of that, different companies that offer different plans at a much lesser cost, but without having all that in front of us yet, we won't know until a couple weeks with the RFP.
Is there any regulation, policies, or anything saying that the district needs to decide on one company that they offer to the employees, or is there some way that they can maybe research it and put together a pool of companies? An example is all I can do is fall back on the way that we did it when, working with the government in my prior life. Health insurance, you had a pool of about 6 or 8 companies. And those companies would say, this is what we offer, this is what what your cost would be and how much the government pays. The government would pay about half, where the employee would then go in there and choose. Well, yeah, this one may be a little bit more expensive, but I don't mind paying a little bit more, for it, or this one is well within my budget, or, they had their choice of any one of those that they could take for that, and it was less of a cost for the government, and the employees would select the one that was within their budgets. Have you?
So yes to that question in terms of the company that is selected through the RFP has to be one, right? I'm correct in saying that.
Yes.
Has to be one.
Yes.
So whatever company we present to the board and the board approves has different distinct plans that the employee then chooses what they're able to afford within that. So if it's, let's say, Blue Cross Blue Shield this year, our board contributed 90% of the cost towards the Classic Silver plan. But the employees could either buy up and pay a little bit more out of pocket to buy the classic gold plan, or have a deductible, there was
A higher
a high
deductible.
deductible plan. So there's some choice within that insurance company that our employees are providing. So that's why I'm saying, yes, partly, but we can't come and say, okay, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield and ASBATE and this. The one company will offer different
And
plans.
that's by regulation of some type.
Correct.
Yes.
You have to.
Procurement,
Another thing to keep in mind is that I can think of, one of the ones that are gonna hopefully submit a proposal is ASBATE, which has a lot of the school districts all together. And that will
Brings it
suffice. Potentially, the premium's a lot lower because it will depend on an average of all the utilization of the services for that pool of districts. There's other ones that are just standalone and say, I'm Blue Cross Blue Shields by myself and just Douglas Unified, and these are the premiums. So, yes, all of that is in play, but we cannot just go out of the RFP process and then just start requesting from different companies, you have to put it out there for publication, and whoever companies are interested, they're gonna bid and they're gonna submit their proposals. And we have to go through that pool. We're not allowed to go outside.
I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Alcha?
I really feel like the information here is very concise. I read the letter that was forwarded to me. One thing though, I mean, yes, we are not among the highest risk districts, but I think that the terms that we should be looking at is that we need to be cautiously optimistic.
Correct.
I mean, yes, we're not there, that makes you, that's good, but yet that's almost like a false feeling, because we have no prediction about where we will be next year. Looking at the weighted count and the change, and it comes out to about, 2% a year, almost 3% when you look at a 4-year change. That's concerning, very concerning. And looking at the drop in where we saw the biggest change, I think it was 2023, 2022 to 2024, looking at those years right there, those were huge numbers. And that's what's been concerning me all along.
And which area is that, Mrs. Elcha?
Looking at the weighted
Enrollment.
count.
Okay, yeah, in the enrollment, yeah.
And the enrollment.
Yes.
Because like we said, and like you've said over and over again, that drives the whole
Budget.
bus. So, something's gotta give. And unfortunately, I think the words were being used, restructuring, making some changes, those aren't a comfortable feeling, but you're gonna have to do what you're gonna have to do.
You mentioned highest risk, and Ms. Samaniego made it very clear that we're not highest risk.
But we're
Those
high
districts are making reports to the auditor, but we are high risk.
We are high risk.
So, that's the next level, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And then also, Mr. Smith, the question you asked about the insurance, that is part of a fixed cost, and that is fixed with salaries, contractual. What they're actually telling us is that if they can do something with that insurance, and they can get that down with our contracted obligations we have with staff, and to do what they're doing, we can stay within the confines of that M&O, that we can make it, and might have to do the same thing next year, we can make it. But if we have to continue to subsidize the insurance in those contracted individuals, not the ones that they're thinking of doing things with, then we can't be spending money, and they pointed out there that we can't continue to be using money from other funds that Mrs. Samaniego alluded to. She talked about MIPS. there's a civic center fund, there's all kinds of funds that they're tapping now to be able to keep afoot the expenses we've got. The revenues are matching the expenses. Did you have anything else, Ms. Seltz?
One question, it's not listed on here, but, do you know, or do you have a ballpark figure of how long we had been providing insurance at basically no cost to our single employees or the one employee?
Many years. I cannot. When I came here almost 14 years ago, it was like that. It was like that. The employee,
So over 15, 20 years,
yes,
maybe?
probably. Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is the first year that.
Mr. Lindeman?
Well, I just had a few thoughts. Of course, it won't be an easy task to go to 80-20 or something like that. But depending on how the numbers come back, that may be a discussion point. My other thought was that, do we or can we explore more revenue streams? Like, I'm remembering that a cell phone company wanted to put their thing on a tower. And do we have any of that capability, perhaps?
Actually, there's one in the works right now.
Okay.
That wants to add a cell tower in the baseball field.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
it's not a humongous, but we're talking about potentially $1,500 a month that
Yeah.
we can charge,
nice.
right? And right now we have another one that we're collecting that kind of money monthly. And the other one, as you remember, it was a few years ago, the one inside between the football and the baseball field, the AT&T big tower. We basically sold out on a way that we got a lump sum, and that's when the district needed computers and stuff like that. So we utilized that money in conjunction with the city. They let us utilize all that money for the district use. So yes, that's something that it's in the works. Yes.
Other communities, I think, sell advertisement on their buses and something of those kind of revenue streams. And then I was thinking, as far as the physical plants go, we have that as an expense too.
Correct.
And many years ago, they put solar panels on everywhere. Are those costs increasing, or are we still saving a little bit because of that?
If you remember, those solar panels, they provide electricity to the grid. It's not just for our consumption. And back then, if I remember correctly, they gave us a fixed rate for 20 years, which is close to expire, in terms of saving money with the power bill. There's something in the works with APS right now that they want to renew, those programs, and we'll be having conversations pretty soon about what will be more beneficial for the district and for the whole community, but mainly us, in terms of that. Another thing that we're exploring is thermostats, in terms of being able to control them. When there's breaks, let's just say, and teachers leave and they leave the AC or the heater on, and it's been challenging, and we're looking at implementing something like that. I won't be able to do it district-wide, of course, but if we start school by school and implementing that in a way that we're gonna have thermostat and they're gonna be in schedules, preset in schedules, this time is gonna get on and this time is gonna get off, and of course we know that there's exceptions when there's parent-teacher conferences. We can adjust that via computer. So that I'm hoping that is going to have a big impact in our electricity bills.
Sure. Years ago, when I went out to San Luis on the city council, they had a huge solar field that they had just put up. And maybe we can expand our solar capabilities. Just an idea, throwing some things out there for a new revenue stream or something. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes, well,
gave us a pretty thorough idea of where we're at, what you're trying to do, and, you know, the income to debt ratio was something that we're
Correct.
tremendous. But the income that's coming in, we have to focus, what's the main reason? The loss of our students,
Right.
students. What are we doing to bring back those students that we lost, or we just can't say we lost because they left because of that. We've lost students because of all the charter schools all around. Now we're in competition. We're no longer the sole providers of education, public education here in Douglas. So we have to find out how are we gonna compete with so many, what are there, 7, 9 charter schools? Do we have in Douglas, something like that? That's quite a bit of kids we're losing. And we don't, why? This is what how can we stop the bleeding at that point? If you're a farmer and it's real simple and you're selling tomatoes or whatever, that's what's gonna bring you the revenue. But if somebody comes and steals your tomatoes, the revenue is gonna be down. So this is what's happening to us right now. And we discussed everything that we have to do within our budget and how we're gonna try and get through the hard parts. But we have to focus also, how are we going to get students back? The kids are out there, but we're losing them. I have a question. When they get a voucher, parents, for the charter schools, does that go directly to the school, or do they get it, the parents?
The parents.
Parents get it.
parents
Number
get it.
one, a lot of parents say, I'll get the money. Are they gonna use it all, or how does it work? Does it charter school? To me, it feels kind of fishy because a lot of people are going and getting it. I don't want to say they're stealing the money, but they're not using it all. So what the heck? They're seeing a financial future with them. They're going to start having more kids, and they get, you know. And my point is, I hope I made it clear. We don't get the vouchers. Our kids, we don't receive vouchers.
We don't.
So now, what are we gonna do? How do we make it where the parents say, we need our kids back here in our district? But if we don't stop the bleeding, no matter how much we adjust in our budget, how much changes we make, whatever we do, we keep losing students, we're never gonna be out of the hole.
Yep, I completely agree. I know there's been conversations, of course, and what are we gonna do? And unfortunately, I mean, we're probably gonna get to a point where we're gonna have to start investing in something that market us I'm not saying in an actual marketing company or stuff like that, but we're gonna need the help. It's kind of difficult, like you mentioned, Mr. Ramos, is to compete, especially when I have a family and I get vouchers, and it can vary depending on my kid's need. So it can be as low as $9,000 to $10,000 to up to $45,000 a year per kid, depending on the needs of my student.
And how much do we get per student? The highest?
$5,013.
So
So again, it's hard to compete in terms of, I'm gonna homeschool my kids and I'm gonna keep, and all I have to do is just show the state and show the receipts of, I bought pencils and notebooks and blah, 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 blah.
Or I bought a
Piano.
piano
Or-
because I'm
Piano or
gonna
a
do
kitchen
piano.
or
Yes.
a trip to
Horse
Disneyland.
riding lessons and
Right.
ATVs, yes, again. So I in order to accomplish something like that is that's what I'm thinking of, top of my head. We're gonna have to invest a little bit
Yeah.
to get results.
So if I may add that and to answer your question, number one, Mr. Ramos, we're never gonna be able to compete locally with our charter schools for the very fact, the first and only thing, which is our enrollment requirement and then our annual registration. So if you can get your child to a charter school, simply by providing a letter saying Mario Ramos lives with me, Ana Samaniego, at my residence, you will be enrolled at a charter school. No questions asked. So we are facing that, and it's something we've been facing since maybe charter school started opening. So I can't compete with that because I have requirements that our parents unfortunately are not able to fulfill with the Arizona residency, proof of residency to enroll in our district. So number one, we're at a disadvantage there because we have to follow the rules. Number two, what are we doing? We are having discussions, and I told my team, we've got to think outside the box, and we may have to start investing. It's going to cost us a little money. You know, Mr. Smith has mentioned before, what else could we do? We might have some ideas. We also have some ideas, but it's going to cost us some money. We met with a marketing company and, you know, just trying to explore different ideas. There are companies out there that are working for the sole purpose of increasing enrollment because it's a nationwide problem. We met with a company. We had a presentation. They said they can help us. They guarantee at least, I can't remember the number of kids per year, because they have a very strategic plan that we don't have the capabilities to do internally, you know, through our Facebook, through our websites, and all of that, because we don't have a specific marketing team like other districts do. Advertising in a school bus, in the news, costs money. We haven't invested in that, but we're gonna have to start investing. This company, just to give you an idea, was charging us $10,000 some per month to try to target the audience via news, social media, different platforms that they're able to reach people that we are not able to reach because they pull the data, they pull the demographics of Douglas residents, phone numbers and emails and all of that. You know how you get an advertisement on your phone and you're like, why am I getting this? That's what this company does. But they are expensive. And they will work with school districts, and they are working with school districts and guaranteeing some enrollment increases. We're looking at the option of maybe, you know, having to look at a classified marketing position within our IT, a person that just works on the marketing aspect of DUSD. Our principals are the people that have managed their Facebook accounts. They are overwhelmed with everything that we are having them do, and to say, okay, I have so many activities, and so we talked about maybe designating like a teacher, you know, to manage the Facebook account. However, the teacher is not attending all of these events that maybe the principal is sending. So thinking outside the box and probably investing in something that's going to get us to market ourselves a little bit more. And for the families that can provide residency, choose to stay at DUSD versus go to a charter school who may have teachers that are not appropriately certified, not offering the same programs as DUSD is, not, you know, career ready, and all the different dynamics and programs that we have at DUSD. But it's going to cost some money for us that we have not spent. So in all of this cost savings that we're trying to do is also this notion of we may have to invest a little bit. I talked to Mr. Bahrain this past week about Elfrida is having some issues with her schools, and we hear parents are wanting to move their kids away from Elfrida. So I said, what about, you know, parking a bus with over there, and saying that's going to mean we're going to have to transport if we get some kids. So it's it's investing in order to get, and so that's what we are having
Yes, because
discussions in.
It's very concerning. We can do all these adjustments. Cut here, cut there, but if we don't stop the leak, it's useless. We're eventually gonna wind up.
Have to do it again.
And
next
the
year
other
and next year.
investment is at least right now at the high school level, is the idea that we've had for years, but it cost, is an alternative school, not an AOI, but just an alternative school. So if kids are struggling or we're suspending or whatever, it's an online alternative school that belongs to DUSD, part of DUSD, but we have to invest in the curriculum, we have to invest in the teachers, and that is a high, high cost. So after all this is said and done, we are looking at that option with one of our current partners, which is Edmentum, who provides some of the curriculum to our DPAS, to see the possibility of, hey, if you're leaving online, we have an online alternative school for DHS at least, which is where a lot of these kids are going, and then eventually they come back because they don't have the support systems at home for the online school.
Mr. Smith?
I've done.
Okay, kind of want to sum it up unless board members, anything else? Ms. Salchow?
Ms. Cox, when you were talking today about, or this evening, about, you know, this many students left for the charter schools, this many left for homeschool, and there were 10-day drops, am I correct? Yes. Okay. Do we provide, like, is there an investigation of really where they've gone? And not just per month, so like if we had these drops in January, or December, do we ever go back? Does the district go back to September and look and see where these students are? I mean, is there an ongoing kind of search for them?
I don't believe that there's a search. There may be, and that would be a question more for principals and secretaries, but they do constantly monitor absences, and so they go out and do home visits, they send letters, phone calls to see where are the kids, why are they not coming. And so that is what they do constantly, trying to make sure, where are these students, why aren't they coming? And so we do that, but I will check and see if they are going back to see. Most of the kids return. Unfortunately, a lot of our parents kind of know
The system.
the system. They're gonna be out 9 days, they come on the 10th day, and then they're out. So the absences,
The chronic.
But on that
It's
ninth
chronic.
day, that's a sign for intervention.
yes.
And like you said, they play the game.
Yes.
They, 9 days, come back, 9 days, come back. Then,
Something that we could do, Mrs. Selchow, is actually through our new student and our SACE department specialist, is with their SACE ID, is just do a search and see if they have enrolled anywhere. Because sometimes when they're a 10-day drop, it's, we have to drop them because
Right.
we can't continue counting them as students. But they can do an analysis or a search to see if they've enrolled anywhere. And unfortunately, most kids don't, but that would be a good report to look at. So if you can talk to Mrs. Molinette.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
I've got a question, or just a quick. These students that you see that are, is there a way you can see there are potentially students that are going to either go to homeschooling or go to a charter school simply because here they're not, let's say, above average in school, and so their parents say, want to take them out and move and see what happens? Do you see that in your,
And their
whatever-
exit, or maybe in the, because we have an exit form that, that New
Yeah.
Student Center does and it has them fill out. Some of the cases may be something related to they're not being successful, they're having a hard time, the teachers aren't helping them, so then we have a process where then our supervisor, New Student Center intervenes before they withdraw, and then Mrs. Cox will meet to try, and we've been able to keep some of those students, and then in other cases, Mr. Ramos, they just say for other reasons. And so there is intervention and happening at the third absent, the third consecutive unexcused absence, that's the first intervention that comes on behalf of the school. Because at that point, they are starting to notice there is a pattern. And there are some kids that have that pattern of 5 days, show up, 4 days, 9, show up. And it's a constant collaboration with the parents and trying to, whatever family dynamics or situations are happening that are preventing that kid from wanting to stay in school or get to school.
And just a comment. Last spring, I did a little research, online research, looking at how public schools in Arizona rank compared to charter schools, compared to they didn't have data on homeschool, and that's one of the big problems that we've been hearing about is there's no data. Because they don't always have test. And so, but even compared to private schools, and public schools did not look bad. They were ahead on those areas of data that's been submitted, at least to the state. And that's, maybe we need to put that data out there or share that information. You know, when you compare the reading levels, when you compare the math levels, especially from K-8, and then high school, of course, would be different, it'll show that public school is here, charter's here, and like I said, and somewhere in there is private, just because they charge money or tuition for, you know, specialized education. They also don't meet the needs of all the students. They don't have the resources to always do that either, or the personnel.
And the assessments are not the same.
No, they are not.
So we're not comparing apples to apples most of the time.
Mhm. So, and isn't there a bill right now that's, or the legislature's looking at a bill to pass that homeschool students will have to be tested?
Well, they should be.
They should.
Well, I thought I saw something
I'm
about,
aware.
I saw, or they're talking about it in the legislature, they probably haven't started the bill yet, but making it mandatory that all homeschool students are tested.
They should be tested.
The one that's interesting now is, and it'll pass regarding the homeschool, is the ability for them to participate in athletics without the school district approving it. I mean, it'd be automatic. And unless it's vetoed by the queen of vetoes up there, we'll be looking at that next year.
Then we need
But-
to be,
but you know,
we need to be talking to our queen of vetoes.
The interesting thing is a lot, you know, because it had to do with attendance and the budget and how our finances and so on. How a community of, and the number fluctuates, it's between 13 and 15,000 population of Douglas. How in the world can we support 16 schools?
Yeah,
You know,
good question.
Just go stand over there. and-
Well, I won't get into that because then I'll kind of awaken from my stupor, but you know, Ms. Samaniego mentioned that they present letters and so on. It's all about integrity. It's about professionalism. You know, in these, so thank you very much. You guys did an outstanding job of making the presentation. It's gonna be an ongoing conversation. I think the board understands much better now where we stand. You're taking the appropriate steps that hopefully we can stay within the confines of our M&O. We don't have to use and depend on all those other funds. And actually, a big thank you to the staff, because you guys keep telling us that they're cooperating, they understand. And if we're going to continue to move forward and have progress in the district, we've got to take these measures. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So unless there's something that any afterthoughts or follow-up, Mr. Ramos?
I just wanted to say, you know, I really have a lot of confidence, all of you, with all the administrators that I've worked before, and I have a lot of confidence in you, especially that you know what's going on, and you've always found a way to get us across, Caesar, and I'm really glad, and you, Anna, and you, Mrs. Cox, you know, so I just want to tell you, I have a lot of confidence in you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I keep getting that sign from Sadeeb, keeps going like this to me, so we're gonna wind it up.
We need to go to the game. We missed the mom
Well,
and
I know
dad's
he
night
wants to go to
already.
the basketball game. Item 3C, thank you very much, staff especially. Thank you, and the whole staff, all our administration. Item 3C, discussion action on the approval of classified hires, Ms. Samaniego.
As presented, we have 3, a bus driver, an ESS instructional aide, and secretary, and these are all positions we need and to fill a vacancy.
Move to approve the classified hires.
Second
Second.
by Mr. Smith. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item D, discussion action on the approval of certified resignations. Ms. Samaniego.
Yes, we have Principal Deb Herrera and Hector Moreno. Want to just share that, want to thank Mrs. Herrera, and I know her leaving was abrupt, but she gave us 12 good years as an educator, as a teacher at the high school, principal at Stevenson, principal at Huber, and then director, and then back to principal. And so we want to wish her well. Hector Moreno has also been a tenured teacher in the district, and he will be resigning at the end of the year because he is at retirement age.
In 12 years, she had that many positions?
Mm-hmm.
She's approaching, not getting very close to Claudia Leon.
No one beats Claudia.
Mr. Lindemann?
Move to approve the classified resignations.
Second.
I'm sorry, the
Discussion?
certified resignations.
Certified resignations.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item E, discussion action on the approval of classified resignation. Ms. Samaniego.
As presented, this is an IA, and effective January the 22nd.
Move to approve the classified resignation.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item F, discussion action on the approval to end the certified employment contract of Ms. Yuridia Beltran due to visa work status. Ms. Samaniego?
Yes, so it's not a termination, and we, wish her well. Ms. Yurida Beltran is one of our outstanding H1 teachers that was hired for the English department at the high school. She has been with us for 3 years, and so right now she was going through her renewal process, 2-year extension. And unfortunately, at the U.S. consulate, her extension was not approved. Therefore, she can't return and fulfill this year's contract, so we have to end her contract, and it's not a termination, but due to her work status. And I am very worried about the future of our H1 teachers. So, as presented.
Mr.
Move to
Lindemann?
approve.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item G, discussion action on the approval of student observers. Ms. Samaniego?
We have 2, and this is for their education classes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Move to approve the student observers.
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item H, discussion action on the approval of athletic hire. Ms. Samaniego?
The girls' basketball assistant coach is being recommended, and I allowed it to start, so this is a ratification, and you have all the background, and this is for our BMS.
Mr. Lindemann?
Move to approve the athletic hire.
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item I, discussion action on the approval of classified transfers. Ms. Samaniego?
We have 2 of our substitute campus security officers moving into the 2 vacancies that we have, and these subs have been working already ongoing day to day because these vacancies have been around for a while.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
By Mr. Smith. Discussion, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item J, discussion information only for classified internal transfer. Ms. Samaniego?
Angel Romero, who is currently an IT tech, moving into the position we've had vacant for a long time, AV Telecom. And so that leaves Mr. Durazo with 1 vacancy, IT technician, that right now we're not filling. He's going to do the very best with the staff that he has, and no change in pay.
Item K, discussion action on the approval of donations received for Duluth Unified School District Number 27. Ms. Samaniego?
We have 2, one from Donors Choose for the several schools, Sarah Marley, and 2 for Clausen, and then a donation of an item valued at $19.40.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes. Item L, discussion on the approval of gifts received for Douglas Unified School District number 27 and designating Superintendent Samaniego to determine the use of the gifts.
And that's just one, as presented for $40.96.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Bereen?
Yes. You know, in the future, we may want to consider putting those on the consent agenda, as much as I hate putting things on the consent agenda.
Yes.
Because it generally, I don't think wherever, consent agenda is for things that are non-controversial, routine, ceremonial. I don't think we're going to dispute that.
No.
So
I
I think in
agree.
the future,
I agree.
put those on the consent agenda.
Second that. All right.
Should have done that a long time ago. Mr. Lindemann,
Move to approve.
second
Second.
by Ms. Salchow.
We already did it.
Pardon?
We're on item M, but you haven't read the.
No, we did the, I thought we're
Yeah, we
doing
had
on the
already.
gifts.
Yeah, he already voted. We had already voted.
Okay,
You
got
had
it.
already.
All right. M, discussion action on the possible approval of exchange of real property between Douglas Unified School District number 27 and the city of Douglas in adoption of attached resolution approving property exchange agreement. You want to do that, or you want Mr.
Mr. Soto, I just, before you go, I want to thank Mayor Grijalva and the City of Douglas staff that has been working with us over, I want to say,
A long
a
time.
long
Long
time
time.
to make this happen. So thank you to their collaboration to make this happen. Mr. Soto?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Make it
President.
brief.
Thank you, Mrs. I will. Again, everybody's familiar with what we're trying to do and what we accomplished. The city already went through it and approved it on their end. It's time for us to adopt the exchange. You have everything in the back there, background.
And the resolution.
And the resolution. So basically, mainly is just, as you remember, the football field. The property is ours, the land was the city's. Baseball field belongs to the city, even though we maintain it. The aquatic center is the city's building, but it's on district's land. So those are the main properties that the district is, that we both are agreeing to exchange. Another one to mention is the old school on Fifth and F Avenue. That is I think the goal for the city is to make that a museum. So hopefully they'll be able to. So the amounts are kind of pretty close. The city is giving $438,058, and the district is $435,282. The district is giving out some empty lots that we have all over town. So one is all the way by the MBD. There's other ones on Washington and Fifth and that area, just to name a few. So that's in a nutshell what the
Let's get a
agreement
motion
is.
on the floor.
Move to approve.
Second
Second.
by Mr. Smith. Discussion?
In reality, nothing's going to change. You know, we're still gonna use it, the city's still gonna do
Right.
that, we still
Right.
can have our, so mostly, I think this is just, you know,
Formality
housekeeping
or-
or formality, or, yeah.
Yeah, we will have to, once the board adopts it, the agreements are gonna basically swap now, because now the school district is gonna own this property, but nothing is gonna change. We have a great relationship with the city in terms of whenever they need to use the facilities, I mean, they're.
And the upkeep is gonna be about the same.
Correct.
Yeah, we've been maintaining the
baseball field
field, our staff, we maintain it, they own it. So now we own it, we maintain it, so.
At some point in the future, I was dreaming about putting turf in the baseball field. Can we still do that?
We'll see,
Keep it in our
depending.
budget. We'll
Yes.
keep it in our budget
There'll be a
plans.
project. The main thing right now is the lighting. Then we'll talk about the turf.
In the future.
In the future, yes.
You know, it really is historical. You
Yes.
can't imagine, it seems like it's very nonchalant now doing it, but there's been, over the years, there were issues regarding that, fighting back and forth between the city years ago. about that. And finally here, just in a very serene environment, we say yes, and it's done after all of those years that they went through all of that trouble and arguments over that property. We have a motion on the floor?
Yes, sir.
I want to thank the mayor, want to thank the council for having the insight and also the administration down there, because they played a significant role in the recommendation, helped with the compilation of all of the exchanges and so on. So roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item N, discussion action on the approval of memorandum of understanding between Douglas Unified School District Number 27 and Copper Queen Hospital to establish Sarah Marley Elementary School as an emergency evacuation facility. Ms. Samaniego?
As presented, we were approached by Copper Queen Community Hospital, and the information is there. And in case of an emergency, a natural disaster, fire, that they need to evacuate their patients, they would utilize on a temporary basis Sarah Marley for their patients before they move them to a different facility. So this just sets that agreement in place.
Mr. Lindeman?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Discussion?
I have some questions, if I may. Why did they choose Sarah Marley when Clausen is closer?
No.
No,
Isn't it?
no, Sarah Marley is closer on the west side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, why did they choose Sarah Marley when it's a smaller campus?
I
We
guess
we
with
don't
the
know,
distance.
the distance, the proximity of the building, and it's, they, like Mr. Soto was mentioning, he saw some other community healthcare, they had a fire drill, so they were out on
It
the
was them.
streets. It was
It
them?
was
Okay,
them.
all right. And so, they asked us, and they sent the arrangement, our attorney reviewed it, so I'm not sure why they selected that school, but if, in case they are ever needed.
We haven't voted. Why don't we suggest, go back to them and ask the charter school on Fifth and G Avenue if they can use their facility. Any further discussion?
They don't have an equal yard.
Because we're gonna put it in, we're gonna take pictures of it, and we're gonna post it.
We are going to be nice
I had another,
Marketing.
to our partners. Yes.
Mr. Lindeman?
I had another point that, God forbid anything would actually happen. But if they have drills and things like that, won't this disrupt the education of those students?
No, and this will not be used for like a fire drill or what, this will be in case of a real emergency that they need to totally evacuate, and if they have patients or any, then that's when it would be used.
But I read in the MOU, but they was gonna have practice drills and things like that, so if that's during the school day, that'll disrupt the education of our students.
Yeah, it shouldn't be during school hours, I would assume, but.
It's for drill, so I will, meet with, or I'll talk to their CEO and make sure some of these things, because Mr. Bahrain even asked that question when we met for our pre-agenda meeting. And so, obviously, the idea of this is in case of a severe emergency, then whatever area, it could be the parking lot of Sarah Marley, and it's a temporary, and then they would move them out to their next location. But it should not disrupt our kiddos.
That's in case Cuba attacks.
Well, I'd hate to be a patient sitting in the parking lot,
Yeah,
during
but we
something.
do have the NPR,
The
that's,
NPR.
kind of where we were thinking if.
I think also one of the, as long as we're gonna get into it, one of the things in the MOU is, they're indemnified when they come to the building, they're insured.
Correct.
And
Yes.
everything, so,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
that's a good point.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
I have one, did they mention trying to make any, changes to do any
Facility?
type of improvements or?
No,
Nothing
no,
like that?
no.
And I also just wanted to make a comment talking about the drills and everything. From what I read in there, it was putting it in their ICS, the instant command system, and that means probably the drills will be tabletop drills, just all
Oh,
get together in a rule, and I used to run those, so
Yes.
more than likely, that's what they're
Yeah.
describing in their
Like in
drills.
the evenings or things, sometimes they run those drills, just like we.
Yeah,
kinda do.
nobody, you
Yes.
don't actually have to
Have-
physically
yes.
go there, you're sitting in a room saying,
Yes.
okay, this is what's going on, this is how you're gonna react. Type thing.
Very good.
Any further discussion? I'm trying, Sadim. I'm doing my best I can. Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
It keeps going.
Yes.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes. Item 4, A, announcements, Ms. Samaniego.
All right, just a reminder, again, parent-teacher conferences and early release day on February the 5th. Early release day again on the 6th on Friday. And in a couple weeks, we're going to have a day off President's Day, February 16th, and our next meeting will be March the 3rd. Thank you.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I like